sandwich!
Oh no, they know I'm back. Shit. Anyway, hi. I have a wrap. Also, I probably need to memorialize some ghosts, actually. Let's just double check. Okay. There's no obviously needed to be memorialized ghosts around them. Do you really want to see me spit out my food on stream? Come on, man. So, this isn't technically a grilled cheese, because according to the Reddit's definition of a grilled cheese, this would be a melt. But one of my favorite sandwiches, Piggy Gamer, is a grilled cheese on sourdough bread with sharp cheddar, the sharpest cheddar, and very thinly sliced, peeled Granny Smith apple. It's something that my grandmother used to make for me when I was little. So for that reason, it has a very special place in my heart. It's very good. Like, genuinely delicious. And if my German grandmother, who spent her whole life, like, cooking in restaurants, if she says it's good, I can confirm it's good. Okay, so just about all these dwarves are doing some format of training. I don't know how this one ended up not in the military, but is in the Violent Mansions, which, by the way, the Violent Mansion might be one of the better generated names I've had recently. And as always, chat, if you guys have a particular dwarf or something you guys would like me to follow, let me know. Who's the most upset dwarf? Still Signal. Let's just get everybody training. Plowman's lunch? What's a plowman's lunch? I tried, Drew Kimball. Nobody is perfect, and I'm certainly not, but I do have my moments where I think I can be a pretty good ambassador for this game. Also, for clarity's sake, answering a question from the YouTube chat. There was like 1,000 people watching on Twitch at the time. It was like those first few streams after the Steam release, it was like 1,000 to 2,000 people every day. With cheddar cheese, with apple, cheddar cheese, and pickle. Interesting. Oh, yeah, yeah. Had to put away dishes and rinse my hands. Probably because the guy who operated the plow liked it as his lunch. Like, how does Trucker's Breakfast get its name? Probably just the first person to coin the name. All right, so I'm going to take these 2 squads and just delete them. These dwarves go off and do other things, but we're still in the break time burrow. So they're locked in mostly. Although we're all going to go pick up equipment, so it's probably like pickaxes and whatnot, right? Oh my god. We need new shoes. How much leather do I have? $19. Leather shoe 19. Let's do 15 so I don't actually run out. Probably just out of cloth is the actual issue. Processed plants, please. Okay, yep. We are in fact out of pigtail. Growing some more pigtail. But yeah, I don't know. I personally feel that I can be a good ambassador for this game. I also think that I can be a pretty crappy person sometimes. So it's kind of unfortunate. I mean, it's something that I'm trying to get better about and be a better person for. But, you know, I'm certainly not perfect and I don't pretend to be. Do I even have any leather worker shops? Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I do. Clothing and leather. Leather. So let's just plop that down there, but it's going to take a little bit to go make it. Because we are still stuck inside. Let's stay stuck inside until the end of Moonstone. Yeah, I'm noticing dwarves need new shoes. Really bad. One of these days, I'll figure out what command people are looking for when they type in ! fort. Because I've never had a command that's ! fort. And I don't know what you're looking for it to do. Also, Space Potatoes, hello. It's good to see you. Nope. People seem to think it's one. It's never been one. Goal's the only one. But what's the gimmick for this fort? It's way more than that. Also, that's not the goal for this fort anymore. I haven't rewritten it. The goal for this fort is to release hell onto the surface. Because the surface is unplayable. And if you want to know what's actually going on with this fort, go watch the video called This Embark is Insane. That I uploaded a few days, well, like a week or 2 ago now. It's like my 3rd or 4th most recent upload. One of the 2. Should be an inside joke, really? I got enough of those already. Try typing an ! tits. Elfie over here is reciting poetry. What are you reciting? The treasury and fair righteousness. It's an example of the top embraces with no particular subject, and it is masterful. But yeah, I don't know. Like commands that don't really need to exist, I generally feel that they just kind of shouldn't exist. Okay, let's let these dwarves out of here. So we're pretty much through Moonstone. Just waiting on this sucker to get constructed. Yeah, I mean, it's the reason I don't have a commands command that shows you all the commands for the commands command. Like, there's a lot of things that a lot of channels do that I just don't, because I'm like, well, I don't want to just encourage spam. Not that spam's bad, it's just we don't really need it, per se, because, like, the strength of my channel has almost always been conversation, my ability to converse with people watching. And I think that if the entire stream just becomes, you know, not that, I think it kind of loses. I think my stream loses something if I just say, yeah, it's all these commands and things. It's like, I think in some ways they can absolutely assist, but I think in a lot of ways it at least for me, it takes away from my experience of streams. Okay, I do have a leather workshop. It's just up here. And let's just go here and make a leather stockpile. There we go. Have I memorized the Dwarven months? Nope. No, not really. Have you? I've never really tried to be honest. Just by playing this game so much. Some things, it doesn't matter how much I play this game, I don't think I'll ever fully, you know... I don't think I'll ever fully memorize some things in this game. Yeah, we'll just get you doing staggered training. I mean, I always have to, like, look up the months. I know that, like, Opal and Galena are winter. It's like they're color-coded based on the color of the metals. Like, Hematite's summer, I know that, but, like, no, not really. Yeah, and also answering another question from YouTube chat. That also is something that, like, happens to me a lot. Like, if you dig into the comment sections of just about any video that I have that does well, there's, like, a small group of people that desperately want my entire channel to just cease existing and for me to just fail and fall off the internet because I've been a mean person in the past, and it really kind of sucks. It's like, I dare you to, like, go to an office job and be in a good mood, chipper, talk the entire day to a crowd of people, and don't ever get upset at anything or irritated ever. Because if you do, that person will want you to die. One angry dwarf, just like that one angry commenter. Which building are you going to go break? Oh, I know which. The order of the actual months? You mean like real life months? Like Earth Realm months? Is the workshop for that dwarf in a guild hall? Like, if you have zones, do you have a meeting area zone that covers the workshop? Remove the... Okay, so if the zone is, like, right here, go into the erase thing and erase this around the workshop. That'll fix it. I mean, I remember that and the alphabet. I would have to smoke a lot more weed to forget that. But you're going to have a really valuable artifact. I'll tell you that. Okay, so this dwarf keeps getting anxious, pondering the geometric model. I'm going to remove them from the library as a scholar. And also, you know what? I'm going to try putting signal into here because maybe you'll like this as a career path. How many books does this have, actually? Written objects, 1. Oh. It's not the greatest library ever, but hey. I don't even know if it's in the library. There it is. Lunar phases uncovered, and it's a copy. Instead, he's going to go meditate on labor. Well, that's okay. Feels happy after putting on finely crafted item. There we go. This bin showed up here at last, which means this whole area is just going to, like, suddenly have no bars in it left. So I think we're actually just going to wait and let them just do tasks around the fort for a little bit. We're going to keep an eye on that super depressed dwarf and see if we can happy him up a little bit. And also, I don't know if you guys have noticed, game's kind of fucking laggy right now. So let's see if we can do some Zambi shenanigans. Because this one does not have a name. All right, so all of the gate stuff is now open. We get to see if they head towards it, like it bloody well should. The easiest way to see is if these doors open. But I'm just going to go reveal hidden units again. Which I'm not really seeing. Oh, there's some. Just floating idly. Sorry, what? Okay, no, you're just dwelling upon seeing a creature's dead body. I thought it was, like, actively in terror. Should probably explore this corner of the map. Everything that becomes a zombie is doomed to die. And yes, that includes the cave crocodiles. So no, it went off and eventually died. As does everything that enters this fort. Because it's a tomb. A tomb for gods. Godly tombs, if you will. Well, it seems like these dwarves are finally getting shoes. So I guess that's good. Like, look at poor Indiridius here. Who's making a pair of leather shoes. And I really hope claims some shoes in a moment. Because look at these shoes. I did not realize that I haven't been making shoes. It's like I do have a job for cloth crafts. But like, geez, man. Let's also make a stockpile for wear down there. So they'll put clothing away. Will there be a tomb for you, Wiz? If you get a dwarf in this fort somehow, which would be very impressive. I mean, this is the number of dwarves we have, and we're not going to get more than this. Soul Seeker. I might do another attempt at this fort in the future. Like, maybe not this exact location, but somewhere else in the same general vicinity. Because I have had an absolute blast with this fort. It's been a lot of fun to play. Oh! Sure, that's part of the reason this ain't working. I've got a lot of jobs that are just, like, forbidden for no reason, because I've just forgotten. It's like, why are things not getting done? Well, oops. Anyway. You still haven't claimed new shoes. Well, I hope you get some new shoes soon. Speaking of shoes, how many more of these shoes are we making? 15 total? It's been very entertaining to watch. I'm glad. I'm just hoping that when I'm finally done with this fort and I finally upload to YouTube and get a video of it out, the whole fort, people are happy with it, because it's the sort of thing that people have been asking me to do as long as I've been on YouTube. It's like, can you just like take a whole fort and put it together into one video? It's like, well, it's going to take me like 100 hours plus to record the fort, plus God knows how much editing time. So we'll see, I guess. I don't know. I just hope it's worth the hours. Dilphomasinosaurus, our favorite dino friend, is going to make an artifact. Is in a strange mood, it seems. We should all be so lucky to truly master a skill, he says. Well, you're going to get that luck today. But he is being particularly secretive. Go make us something cool there, Dwarf. Won't go south past a point. Their pen reaches over a large area. I don't understand the question. Why won't they go south past a point? I'd have to look at it. I can't answer that question without seeing what could be potentially stopping them. Chat might have ideas, but I would need to see the save file itself. Work secretly. Hot damn, that was quick. What'd you grab? Whoopsies, wrong thing. 3 pieces of siltstone. Well, good luck there, Dwarf. How are your shoes doing there? You've actually got new shoes on. That's good. Shinobi here also has some new shoes. Recent-ish. After plopping those pig leather shoes down here. Other bits of clothing are ending up down here. This is good. This is what we needed. Look at you with a sandstone amulet. Fancy. How about you? You need a new pigtail cap. Let's also make 21 leather caps. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to here. And we're going to kind of go back to this a little bit. Except I'm just going to make this bigger because I know it needs to be bigger now. So now that I know, I'm not going to not do the thing that I know. Did I ever cook this one up? Not on this playthrough. We're up to midwinter already, so that's good. Furniture? What about furniture? But yeah, you're going to need to give us more information about your animals. If you have a burrow, they generally stay in the burrows. So. Oh, you think you're going to get, it's going to be a furniture? I mean, it's pretty likely it'll be furniture, yeah. There's a few other things it could be, but it's pretty likely it'll be furniture. Artifact door would be cool. I always want artifact doors just because of their historic importance. Coffin? Coffin would be pretty rad, yeah. Who's the dwarf who's not having a good day? It's Signal. This dwarf. They're pretty scarred after some bad combat moments, as well as just having a tough life in general. So we're trying. They did watch a bunch of people die when they walked into the fort. But it's an armor stand, it looks like. The militia captain has created Idromuz, a siltstone armor stand, and offers it to the fitted cradle, and I'm going to put it in the tavern because that seems like a fitting thing to put in the tavern. For an entryway? Well, historically, artifact dwarves were the only 100% guaranteed to be indestructible doors in the game. And so now the sad part is because... Oh. Atir, dwarf... Oh, shit! I was like, who's Atir? Right. That was the one that I imprisoned. All right, well, we've got a zombie fight breaking out in my entryway. I was not expecting that to happen so quickly, but it's okay. They can't get in, but we can go continue the fun. So let's see if we get a better fight this time. Looking around, I don't think any of them actually got infected. So we have two options, chat, and it's up to you guys which one we do. I can lock these guys in and try and just kill them. Or, oh my god, are they all heading towards us? Yeah, it seems like they are. So I could lock the door and try and kill them, or I could try and make a zombie outbreak. I'm leaning the zombie outbreak, so let's pull this lever. I love how quickly they topple that statue. They just walk right up there and topple the statue. Send in the zombie. Singular. Stressed, tired. Wow, they can become stressed. So this is Avo's Leafy Tour. But it does appear that they've all just turned around to go leave. Maybe I should just burn them. Maybe not. This real big crew is coming in, or trying to. How are they getting stranger and stranger? What's so strange about these zombies in particular, if I can ask? Is it because they just sit there? Is that why they're strange, or being stressed? I'm pretty sure this one was probably stressed before. Do you still have teeth? Please have teeth. Her upper front teeth are gone. All right, so giant cave toad still moving towards him, which is what we want to see. But intelligent undead can get stressed, so that's not too strange. They can also go melancholic, which is really annoying. Still has some teeth. I mean, that's what counts, right? Oh, here comes a crocodile. Dwarf runs up. Is now fighting with the crocodile. Crocodile's already an abominable smoke zombie. Dwarf is now a legendary fighter. Great striker. Look at how quickly they train. Just watch that skill go up. Actually, in fact, I think I can just open this up. Skilled wrestler. Two smoke zombies. Here comes the chaos. Oh boy. The actual absurdity is incoming. Let's just follow the zombie. Yeah, it's kind of wild how quickly they level up. Bits and pieces start flying out everywhere. And the dwarf is now wrestling with basically everything. So this is our most recent gatekeeper. Oh my god. How are we doing here? Still just injured. So the dwarf armor is just it's just punching them. But these are all now smoke zombies. Both these two are smoke zombies. This is a smoke zombie. I don't think they can bleed out as a smoke zombie. But it's just a free-for-all now. Oh, Gatekeeper's been dead for a little bit, so this is just the most recent Gatekeeper. Shoutouts to, okay, this dwarf right here, Grunty Thirst, just rolling past, because I guarantee you, Grunty Thirst heard the fighting in there. There's got to be a lot of commotion. Cave Crocodile just lost its teeth. Oh my god, her guts are hanging out. What is your talented wrestler currently? You know, if I unforbid this and this, will you grab them? I really want this dwarf to just, like, equip, like, the wooden spear off the ground. Heavy bleeding. What's its kill count? 2 other kills. Not actually as much as... Oh my god, you killed a Titan. Huh. I think that this gets a nickname. Titan Slayer. Because you were as good as a Titan, dwarf. Now the zombies are fighting amongst themselves. Just teeth, bones, bits and pieces everywhere. And most of these characters are running. There's a bunch of them just vomiting back here. What happened? What are you fighting with? So they're bashing somebody. I don't know why these guys are fighting. There's no logical reason that I can think of for them to be fighting, but they are. I think I should just close the door and burn everything that's left. Loyalty Cascade? Can that even happen? Like none of them are smoke zombies. But they're trying to kill each other. A sneaking one? Oh, true, possibly. Let's, reveal hidden units. I mean, yeah, no, I don't see one. It's just normal cave toads. All right, I'm going to close this door. We're just going to burn the ones that are in there, and we're going to reset the whole thing. They have the taste for blood now? I suppose. It's got to be something like that, right? Jesus. Titan Slayer, you can get memorialized. And we will burn the remainder. And then we will begin the fight again. I do still have 2 more dwarves here that we can send in like this to use as bait. But this drawbridge is actually going to get destroyed because I'm dumb. Because I made it out of the wrong material, but that's okay. Here comes the lava. The great healer. And the great cleaner. These creatures won't be alive much longer. Yeah, I'm very perplexed as to what they were fighting with there, but they're certainly fighting with something. There's plenty of little abominable smoke zombies down here, all fighting amongst each other. Can I get some lava in the chat? We do happen to have a lava emote here, which can be purchased for the normal Twitch sub prices or alternatively unlocked. I think you can unlock animated emotes. Or, you know, using Prime. It's one of the most totally definitely useful emotes on Twitch. Just like our water emote. That's just water. Man, this toad's having a bad day. This toad isn't a zombie. This toad's just here. And has the choice between becoming a zombie or dying to a wall of fire. And that sucks. I don't envy that toad very much, to be honest. Not in the slightest. We're going to lose that statue. That's a shame. But, you know, it is what it is. These toads are diving back into the fighting. This Batman Spearman is actually a Spear Master. Grandmaster Spear Batman. And it's just repeatedly stabbing this toad in the head. Just repeatedly. Burning your enemies alive is fun. Yeah, I mean, it's not the most interesting way to kill things, but it's pretty dramatic. There's this guy just hanging out here. Just looking at us. I see you. I should probably really just finish this, sealing up this thing. So what do you think, chat? Back to digging too deep? Working our way down slowly. I don't know what's the most interesting for you guys to watch, so I'm mostly just kind of poking to see what you guys want to see. Okay, well, let's keep that on pause and just let that work. If we all die because of it, I would consider that to be too deep. But as long as it's epic, does it really matter? There's something about just like a crocodile with its intestines hanging out and another crocodile just fighting. Oh, there goes the toad. That was fast. Just keep doing me. Got it. Got it. I think I'm going to do a better job prepping this time, though. Man. Why hasn't that drawbridge disappeared? I didn't think that was lava safe. Huh. Maybe it is. You need to pump lava to the surface for a moat. Just remember, moats are generally more dangerous to your dwarves than the enemy. Someone's getting really good at throwing. One of these crocodiles keeps getting thrown. Probably the bat, if I had to bet. Because the bat is a legendary wrestler. Yeah, there it goes. There goes the drawbridge. Because, yeah, the bat is a legendary wrestler. Which is a good deal of fun. Oof. Seems that this may be one of the finals. Still alive. Speaking of, how's the bat doing? How many did you kill, bat? Nothing? Wow. It's like they may be legendary in fighting, but they're not particularly noteworthy in the annals of history. They look cool. This is true. They do definitely look cool. I cannot deny that. Just bursting into flames left and right. Meanwhile, these ones up here having a little panic attack going, oh god, what have I signed up for? Oh no, anyways. Meanwhile, these ones down here just, you know, getting torched. Still feels vengeful when he joins into an existing conflict, and blood begins evaporating. So it seems to be two crocodiles. I was going to say probably locked in combat, but it doesn't actually look like they're fighting with each other. Are the two remainders? Yeah. Not even fighting. But they're burning. Trial by fire. Yeah, I mean, I think it's consistently meant the same thing. For quite some time. I'm wondering if they're actually going to let the... I should probably fortify this. They might just let these guys out, I don't know. I mean, none of them are actually smoke zombies. So none of them are actually a spreader risk for us. Just wrestle the lava? Sure, definitely. Just like bite the water, you know? The 7th got her? Yeah, this fortress in the last stream I did had a legendary zombie that was just like throwing everything constantly and impossible for them to hit. Can't drown if you drink all of the water. Citation needed. That's all I got to say. Is citation needed. This bat's not standing in a very smart spot. There he goes. I didn't know that doors closing got rid of lava. So I guess if either of these toads go through the doors, then insta-dead. Because this is all full now, right? Yeah. Hey, you wanna touch that door? There? No? Okay. Well, how about we just do this then? Oh, one of them did. One of them was very smart. Okay, the other one, you can go tell your friends. Tell them of the pain you felt here. And I'm in an ad break. Feels like I'm always in ad breaks. I didn't know that. Well, it seems like the one did. By that I mean go through the door. Man, it does seem odd. Also, this needs to be closed. Sorta did this in the wrong order, but, you know, it's fine. There's gonna be a lot of lava coming out of this. It's always kind of amazing to me how quickly this stuff, like, empties out. Like, this is such an effective system. Okay, let's see how many more dwarf zombies I have just hanging out. I think that's the last one. Okay, well, let's do something like this and go down. All right, so we're gonna do this and that, and I'm going to go to here and make a stockpile. And I'm just going to put a... Ooh, there's two things I should do. I should put some masonry shops right here. And I should put a food stockpile down here. And a tavern down here. But I think instead I'm just going to get them making just stuff from what's available around. The difference is dwarves can't open and close floodgates. But that's interesting. I didn't know that they were so similar in their under-the-hood mechanics at all. I had, like, no idea. So that short that started doing well earlier is still getting, like, 700 views an hour, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down much, which is nice. Like, normally when shorts take off, they just kind of go and just, like, get, like, a ton of views in like an hour and a half, and then it just stops. But maybe I just jinxed it, and it's going to stop in like 10 minutes. But it's interesting. It's nice to see it keep going, actually. I don't like shorts very much. This is a well-known thing about me, but I tolerate the existence of shorts because I acknowledge that YouTube wants us to like shorts, which means it doesn't matter if we actually like shorts or not. It means that YouTube will not promote anything but that. Ravioli? No. No, I'm uploading a short per day. That short's already like 5 days old. I don't even remember what that short was about. And also, it didn't do very well. It did kind of terrible. There's a delay in operating a floodgate. Yep. No delay in a door. The door is not linked to a lever. Can be opened and closed by a dwarf or animal. Yep. Unless locked or tightly closed. Usually this is not what you want when there is an enormous amount of liquid on the other side of the door. Yeah, I mean... They can also both be blocked by boulders, among other things. Yep, it fucking sucks, but turns out YouTube basically doesn't let your channel exist unless you already are ginormous or you make a bunch of shorts. So it just is the state of YouTube's chronic depression. So it's like, hey, you hate this thing. That's okay. Doesn't matter. You have to make it all, and that has to be the majority of what you make. Or why even bother existing? Isn't tightly closed no longer a thing? Tightly closed has not been a thing since Premium came out. Version 50 eliminated tightly closed because it was one of the main sources of frame rate issues. And a huge source of pathing issues. It's like, you want to frame rate death your fort with a door? Yeah, that was the thing that enabled that. So they completely, like, removed the option. But anyway, thanks for reminding me why I hate shorts, Orange. Stoneworkers Workshop, let's go right here. And just say... Stone. Shale. And... Shale. There we go. You liked the feature tightly closed? I personally feel it was a bad feature, and I'm glad they removed it, but... It did certainly have its uses, but it's the game is better off for it that feature is gone. So there was a third option with doors. Currently, in the current game, you can have locked doors or unlocked doors. But there was another feature where you could keep door tightly closed. And what tightly closed meant was that the door wasn't locked, but animals couldn't go through. And enemies couldn't go through. So dwarves could still go through it, but other things couldn't, basically. So it was like a middle option between locked. And the issue with it was there's a lot of animals that don't care about the rules. And they would just try and path through them anyways. And also, when dwarves were just pathing somewhere, they would try and path through them anyways as well. And while you might be like, why is that a problem? Well, it's a problem because if dwarves just path through it anyways, then the entire frame rate falls over when they run into a door they can't enter. Or rather, if a dog tries to follow a dwarf through. Dogs like to be near their owner. Pets or owned or named animals like to be near their owner. War animals like to be near their owner. Or a cat likes to be near people that it likes, which may or may not be the one that they own. And the result here is if they try to path through a door that cannot be passed through, your frame rate goes to 0. So it was one of the larger contributing factors to frame rate problems. So it's a good thing that they removed it. even though it was honestly probably a pretty neat little feature. It is a benefit to the game in general that it is gone. Also, I beg your pardon? Did, like, Signal just, like, fix his brain? Huh. I guess so. Wow. Damn. Okay, then. We have a happy dwarf again. That's kind of wild. I think I only really need one of these workshops. I'm actually just going to get rid of one of them. Chad, do you have a feature that's been removed from Dwarf Fortress that you would like to see come back? Because in a lot of cases, when features get removed from Dwarf Fortress, I go, it's probably for the best. Like, for a lot of things. Especially when it comes to stuff like that. How workshops used to work. Elaborate? Murderous elephants, that's still in. That never left. That's never left. But yeah, I'm curious, what do you mean by how workshops used to work? Because they're more or less the same. I'm trying to figure out exactly what... Oh, okay, yeah. I disagree on that one, but I could see why people wouldn't want the change to happen. Like, Dwarf Fortress is a significantly easier to play game with the management system we have now. And I still feel that it's a better management system for the game, but yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Civilian alert? Workshop clutterage is still there. That still happens. I'm genuinely, the more I think about civilian alerts, the more I am convinced that they never worked the way people thought they did. Because, like, having played with civilian alerts, I never thought that they worked the way people describe the way they apparently used to work. Because what a civilian alert was it would just force the dwarves into a particular burrow, right? So it's essentially just strictly turning on a burrow. And I literally used that feature once. It didn't work. And I don't think I've used it since. You just use DF hack to bring workshops back? You mean work profiles? Because workshops are still there, and they still work the same way. You mean, like, the job system. Does DF hack actually have that now? I basically use DF hack for, like, nothing, so... Cat explosions were game-breaking and terrible. You don't want that back. But if you're saying just as, like, a meme, then, well... Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of changes that I feel... Like, this is just me, right? But I was one of those guys that played vanilla. Like, I didn't use DF hack in older versions of the game, like, at all. I would use it occasionally to debug stuff if stuff was broken, but, like, it would always be a separate install. And so having used the old work system where individual dwarves have to be assigned to individual tasks and super micromanaging, I don't miss it at all. I think it fucking sucked. It was awful. It was, like, easily the worst part about this game, and I fucking love this game. Like, I hated the fact that every single job had to be microed onto it. It just was such an unpleasantly slow system to use. And the way I would end up playing is a dwarf would arrive, I would assign it a set of jobs that its needs sort of seemed like they would be okay with doing based on their preferences and whatnot. And then I would forget about it and never touch it again. And that was, like, the only way that I enjoyed playing the game. So I don't miss that system at all. And I don't understand why people still think it's better. I guess, like, if you're a micromanaging player, I could sort of see it. But it never suited my playstyle particularly well. It just made the game tedious. At least for me. Oh, path blocking on workshops. Okay, no, I agree with that. I also agree with that. I miss path blocking on workshops. I don't know why that got removed. That's something I would like. I hated Dwarf. The only thing I disliked more than that job system was Dwarf Therapist, because Dwarf Therapist surfaces too much information. Like, that's something that I think I'm weird about with Dwarfort, is I don't want to know too much. And it's a game that it's very easy to know too much. And Dwarf Therapist directly just gave me more information than I ever wanted or needed about the game. Like, it showed things, it surfaced information, it made things clear and obvious, and it's like, some people appreciate that. I like the surprise. Feels like the whole game had to be restructured for the Steam release. Talking to Tarn about it at PAX, he said that a lot of things were changing, but these were changes that they'd wanted to make for a while due to old decisions that they didn't like. So, yeah, I would agree with that the whole game was, in a lot of ways, restructured. But it's restructured in a direction that they wanted to do for a while, but didn't have the time. So, yeah, you're not wrong. But it's something that the developers wanted to do. I think when a lot of people talk about the game being restructured, they say it like a negative thing, right? Like, you know, I talk about Steam reviews every now and again, and sometimes people look at me like I'm a goofball for doing that. But the reality is, there's a lot of, how do I word this? There's a lot of, I need to check something. Okay. There's a lot of people who played older versions of the game who basically say that the game is dead now. Like, can't play it anymore. Like, game dead. I used to love this game and I played it forever and now it's broken. I can never... Because there's some people that are so against change of any kind that it doesn't matter if the game has changed for the better. Because I do genuinely think that, yeah, there's some portions of the Steam release of DF that make the game less intuitive than it used to be. But I think the majority of the changes that they made are significantly better for the game as a whole. No, you can't. You definitely cannot see through floors building rails. I don't know what you're talking about, Ranger Rick. I don't know why you would accuse me of abusing oversights in the game's design. No, definitely not. I can assure you I am not... Yes, you can. But to me, it's like, I do think that the changes, as, you know, mixed as they might be for some members of the community, I think in the long haul are a net positive for the game. Like, I still miss the hotkeys. Like, I'm one of those people, too. I miss being able to play this game with a keyboard. I was so mad the first, like, 3 hours when I got this game early. Because I was just sitting here, like, going, why? So many people are going to be so pissed. Why did they do this? But, like, you know, what they kind of had to, right? Waz got moved, which was half of the keys right there. Probably the latter, Ranger Rick, because I know we've talked about this before. You felt the shock. It took me about 10 hours, but the difference between, I think, me and a lot of the older players is, one, you know, some people like to point this out as a negative thing. This game is my job. Playing this game is my job, so I kind of needed to make it, I needed to figure it out, right? So I think I had to rip the Band-Aid off harder than other people. I didn't have the luxury of being able to go back to an older version, right? If I started playing a new version of this game, I didn't have the option to go do something else, right? But at the end of the... Good job on the likes, David, in the YouTube chat. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's just a bunch of little kennels, right? And cat traps. That's all it is. But I do think that at the end of the day, the improvements to this game significantly outweigh the loss of muscle memory for older players. And it also kind of baffles me when I hear people referring to this game as like a moderately successful indie release. It's like, what? This game was hugely successful. I guess if you don't sell 4 million copies in the first month, you're a moderately successful indie game now. Let's see how Signal's doing. Just praying? Yeah, I don't know how this dwarf got fixed, but suddenly he's like no longer depressed, which I think is kind of nuts. Like, genuinely, I don't know how that happened. He's built different. Yeah, he just stopped being sad, like all the people on the internet say to do. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he just really wanted to train a little bit. I mean, I think that's the case for most people. I think, like, to me, the biggest negative thing that happened because of the Steam release is Dwarf Fortress is now a known quantity, right? And for a very long time, Dwarf Fortress was like a mythical entity. It was like fucking Cthulhu of video games. It was a game that people talked about in hushed tones around a campfire, describing the terrifying fear of the scale of the game, right? Now it's just a game that some people like and some people don't. And I love this game. I will probably never stop playing it. But I do kind of miss that. You know? I do miss the... Like, now, when I tell people I stream Dwarf Fortress, they just kind of look at me funny and go, really? Why don't you stream something better? Like, I get, like, weird negative sarcasm from people in my industry. Like, just peers. They just kind of look at me funny and go, why'd you dedicate to that thing? All right. You know what I mean? And now... And before, it was always a, you can play that? Like, it has lost a lot of its allure. But that being said, a lot more people get into it and can play it, which is better for the game and better for the community. And as much as some of the old kind of cranky gatekeepers would disagree, but it is better for the community. It's better for the game. It's better for the developers. It's better for literally everything. It's probably better for games as a whole because more people are playing this thing. But I do miss that allure that it used to have. Oh, those weak retinas. Vakrak. No, I mean, I started playing Dwarf Fortress after it was known. Like, it's not a I played it before it was cool kind of deal. It's a I miss the era of people going, wow. You know? Like, it was a lot of really positive brain chemicals that I would get, you know? I mean, you can still play the game in ASCII. You can still feel like an Uber Haxer. You can still do that. In fact, it makes the frame rate better sometimes, which is still funny. But like, I do miss that. I think one of my biggest regrets, and this is for me, for my industry, is the fact that, and I think the biggest failing of the premium edition of Dwarf Fortress is it didn't convince people who didn't already like the game to keep playing it as much as I wanted it to. Like, Dwarf Fortress is still a niche, kind of obscure game. And it never broke through that. And, like, right now there's some VTubers streaming this game. You know, there's me. There's a few other people playing it. I don't even know how many. I haven't looked at the player count in a while. Although those are generally bad numbers anyway. It's not that accurate, but... For me, I just... My big hope for Dwarf Fortress is that it would break through into some sort of relative mainstream success. And it's still this niche thing. But, you know, it has the capability of doing that now because of the changes made to the UI and everything. So that is a positive. But I wish it broke through a little bit heavier, harder than it did. For pretty purely selfish reasons, too. Because, you know, I make money when the game does well. It's that simple. All right, let's Dolomite. Let's try this again. Oh, yeah, and we'll get more quality of life changes. It's just going to take time. You know, Platinum's working on that stuff. I think right now the biggest frustration is just like explaining to the new players how this game's engine works, because there really isn't a way to do that without sounding aggravating is maybe the word I would use to a lot of people. Because there will always be a portion of the community of this game that just does not care about adventure mode, right? I think there will be a bit of a resurgence, but I don't think it'll be that big of a resurgence. I think that the initial adventure beta ate most of that excitement, unfortunately. I think the next resurgence for Dwarf Fortress, and when I say resurgence, I mean like player count quadruples. I think that'll be when the next major Fortress mode patch happens. And this is kind of like me stating my point here, which was, I think it's a damn shame that regardless of how good Dwarf Fortress is and how good of a state Dwarf Fortress is in, there will always be people who just don't care about adventure mode. And I think that's a huge shame and a huge loss. And it's frustrating explaining to people how adventure mode works. And why adventure mode works the way it does. That is something dangerous. I think it's frustrating explaining that because, like, the way Dwarf Fortress's engine works is it is a game that is built around two games that play off each other, and without both of them, the other one doesn't work, and in order to update one, you have to update the other. And I'm seeing this a lot right now, especially whenever Kit Fox posts anything or whenever I put up a news video, which is just, we don't care about this mode. Give us Fortress mode updates. And it's like, well, in order to update Fortress mode, you have to update the game that it is literally intrinsically linked to. It's like Dwarf Fortress is almost more of an engine than like an individual game. You are looking forward to it? Well, hopefully, like, once I finish the adventure mode video that I'm sort of loosely working on and stuff, you can get some opportunity to take a look at it. Because think about it this way. Adventure mode is... It's an open world version of Legends Viewer, right? Instead of reading Legends or looking at Legends Viewer, you are looking at them in the real world. And that's kind of cool. And it's literally just Dwarf Fortress that can do that. It's like the most uniquely Dwarf Fortress thing. It's also the original mode. So, but people who are like, you don't strike me as somebody who's mad about that, Soul Seeker. Like, if that's a mode you never were able to wrap your head around, that's fine. But I think there's a difference between never being able to wrap your head around a mode and getting actively mad when the mode gets developed. I think it's a difference of maturity to a point. Yeah. Danista, yeah. It's like, do you get actively mad when you hear adventure mode is getting patches? If no, you're not one of those people. And they're a pretty small minority. It's just really sad watching it happen. Wizard Boldman, the doctor, has been possessed. He is in a good mood. He's a talented clother. Ooh. Fancy cape. Cool hat. Wants to practice martial art, like everybody else, apparently. Because Dwarf Fortress has slow development, right? Soul Seeker? And... okay, think about it this way. Call of Duty. Okay? Some people really, really like Warzone, right? Some people really, really like zombies. And some people really, really like the multiplayer. Just the PvP multiplayer. And then some people really, really like the campaign. Now, there's a lot of people that will buy a particular Call of Duty game just to play one of those modes, right? And then there's some people that are just playing the free-to-play Warzone, and some people that only play the campaigns, although those people are pretty small. Think about it this way. It'd be like if Call of Duty said, we're taking 5 years off of making Warzone and all of our PvP and the zombies mode, and we're just going to make a really big campaign. Some people would be really happy, but then you'd have a lot of people that are really mad because they never play the campaigns and they don't care. And I think that's the problem that Dwarf Fortress has, to a degree, is there's very different modes of play inside of this game, right? And you have a community of people that have been marketed to and told by other games that are inspired by Dwarf Fortress that this is the gameplay experience. This is the part that matters. And I think even within the Dwarf Fortress community, Dwarf Fortress mode always had a bigger player base. A larger percentage of the community played Fortress mode primarily and never touched Adventure mode. It's a very small minority of people that only play Adventure mode, and then I think just a small group of people that play both, which was what I always did. And it's kind of this weird situation where you can't have one without the other. So you have to update one in order to update the other. But if you're only patching the game in a meaningful sense, and by meaningful I mean like adding new mechanics once every year or so, if people get the thought in their head that you're just updating this and not updating the thing I want you to be updating, they get upset. Which, I get it. They're linked. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, features that go into adventure mode appear in fort mode, which is why we can tell that dwarves are lying down now. So we got pig iron bars, spore tree logs, siltstone bars, 2 pieces of shale, stray yak bone, 2 pieces of cloth, and pig iron bars. It's a clothing shop, chat. Here's hoping it's cool. Yeah, it is funny, Dennis, though, when people say we as if they speak for the entirety of a community of people. Like, that amuses the hell out of me. It's like, oh, you don't speak for us. You don't get that right. All right, let's open this gate, and I need to build a new gate right there. Let's unlock this. It's the most impressive game from a software perspective since Elite on the BBC Micro. Crabular, are you in an ad? Because I'm in an ad break right now. I'll jump over to YouTube chat for a second. A multiplayer mode. There's never going to be a multiplayer mode for Dwarf Fortress. And the reason for that is Dwarf Fortress doesn't run in an engine that is capable of doing multiplayer, so that would require you to reload or rewrite the entire game from the ground up. It's never going to happen. The game isn't like capable of doing that. There are several mods that sort of let you do that, but they require like hosting on a server and basically like locally streaming the game to yourself. So no, it'll never happen. I mean, I also play a lot more also talking to V in YouTube chat. I also play a lot more Fort mode than Adventure mode. Fort mode is a much more compelling game, but Adventure mode is part of that game in a way that when I play a bunch of Adventure mode, it makes me respect Fort mode more, and it makes me retroactively like Fortress mode more. And Fortress mode then makes me retroactively like Adventure mode more. All right, so we should be through the ads now. I think the deity stuff they're currently working on, not only for Adventure mode, but for Fort mode as well. Some of the deity stuff supposedly is going to link back into Fort mode as well, yeah. I don't know how much, because they haven't been super clear about it. Yeah, no, absolutely. If you get bored of one mode, you go play the other thing. Totally. All right, so I need to put a magma safe bridge here instead of a not magma safe bridge here. And then this one, I guess. Deconstruct and reconstruct that. Welcome back, Soul Seeker. But wasn't the original idea is that you build your to build your fort is then you build it and then it eventually collapses? The original idea for the game was you watch a fort collapse and then you go explore it. Like, that was the original idea for the game. So basically, a fort gets made, you watch it collapse, and then you return to it. Like, that was the original pitch for Dwarf Fort. Like, it was purely a like just adventure mode game. I should just be making mechanisms out of dolomite.
Devildon cheered. X500. The dead need some cheers as well.
The dead need some cheers? Well, I'll say this. a real quiet day, Devil Dawn. So thank you very much for throwing those bits into the chat. Chat room, can I get a couple beers? And thank you to Devil Dawn for continuing to help keep this lowly little channel funded here on the interwebs. I kid, but seriously, thank you. Moose, what up? It's good to see you, dude. Kind of like SimCity, once Godzilla hits, then you come and explore the aftermath? I don't recall that at all. I genuinely do not recall that at all. I don't remember being... I remember in Streets of SimCity you could explore, or like SimCopter you could explore, but I don't remember being able to do that in the vanilla game. I always thought it needed expansion packs, but guess I'm wrong. Patiently waiting on a feature that allows you to access Legends mode from Port mode. You love Legends mode? I have quite, like, Tarn has quite literally stated that we're going to get both Fortress or Adventure mode and Fortress mode direct Legends integration. I don't know what that'll look like or when it'll happen. But it's coming. We're going to get that. It's one of the few things that I'm pretty confident in saying, yeah, that's coming. But, you know, like everything else, once Adventure mode is done, right? Because it'll happen, but it'll happen once Adventure mode is done. So I think the other thing I'm going to do down here is I'm going to dig into one of these. Time is relative? Certainly. Okay, so this dwarf is pumping all this water out of here. Wizard Boldman, the doctor, has created Gidthroshin, a sheer pigtail skirt, and offers it to the fetid cradle. Let's just jump into this. Oh shit, did I never give you a chest? Crap, I never gave Vukruk a chest. All right, well, Vukruk, here, have fancy skirt, and let's go read what it is. This is a sheer pigtail skirt. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with cushioned shale cabochons and rectangular siltstone cabochons, and studded with pig iron and decorated with pigtail, and encircled with bands of cushioned shale cabochons. It is made from pigtail cloth. This object is adorned with hanging rings of yak bone and spore tree, and menaces with spikes of pigtail and pig iron. It's a hell of a skirt. Get ready for Tarn time. Yeah, I never know quite. Like, Dwarf Fortress's development has sped up quite a bit. Like, I do think that that's the case. But it's still not quick. Still very far from quick. But, you know, I was sort of talking about, like, the benefits that Dwarf Fortress has gotten from the premium version a little earlier. And I'll say this. One of the biggest benefits that the game has gotten is Dwarf Fortress runs better now than it's literally ever ran, ever. Like, Dwarf Fortress could run a marathon. That's how well Dwarf Fortress runs now. Oh, my God. Okay. Well, I guess I kind of screwed that up. Shit. We'll just have to dig through this then. That or pump water back into it. And the reason I'm saying, well, damn, I screwed up, is if you look at this, this is going off into the magma sea. I mean, the question is, can I make that one tile obsidian? Just Just pour water on those spots you screwed up. Yeah, that's pretty much what I gotta do, right? Basically, it's these two. No, it's too deep. Pit pond set system only works if it's less than 7 deep. It has to be like 3 deep. You've discovered an unusual volcanic wall studded with gems. Really? Wild. I wonder where that could have come from. Fortunately, this is actually pretty easy to do. Okay, so I sealed off this area. So what I've got to do, let's actually just go from there because that's a lot better. So I've just got to make a little airlock here. Oh, actually, no, I got to do this from the upper side. Duh. Nope. This will be easy enough. All right, there we go. So now I just need to make sure that this is in the burrow, which I think it is. Yes, it is. All right, so where is this one? Oh, wow. It's like kind of right next door. It's like right here. You got that notification sometime back and you can't find the actual pillar anywhere. I've gotten pretty good at spotting them. They're not that hard to spot. Yeah, let's stick to this side. Oh, solo goat swarm. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, and then this itself will also be pretty quick. Not sure what's taking them so long, but, you know, here we are. But essentially, we're just going to, yeah, these two pieces right here are just going to be turned into obsidian right there. So that'll just instantly be turned into obsidian. We can pump this out. And also having this set up actually won't be that bad. Would be kind of helpful. I need rock doors. And while that's happening, I'm going to go back up to here. Because this needs to be connected, oops, to this. To dolomite. There we go. Let's just make sure that this door is still up. Yes, it is. Got dwarves picking up equipment. I wonder what you're picking up. Probably clothing. Ah. Dress, socks, apparently an earring. Look at that, blinging yourself out. Now I've got a dwarf getting upset again. Is it still the same one? Not gonna lie, when I looked around at these for a second there, I thought that somebody had caught fire. No, it's the other guy who sometimes gets upset. This guy gets upset because he can't properly pray to his god and he just gets into arguments with people all the time. Which, honestly, kind of relatable. How much gold is too much gold? When you don't have any other resources, because gold in and of itself is fucking useless. It's shiny and it's worth a lot, that's it. There's no actual practical purpose to gold. At least in Dwarf Fortress, specifically. I think that if there was a practical use for it, I would like it a lot more, but because there's no, like, actual immediate mechanical benefit to gold, I kind of just don't care. I have a really hard time caring about gold. Can you trade gold for goods and services? Totally, but, like, I can't make a sword out of it. So why do I care? If I could make a sword out of it, I'd care a lot more. But because I can't, I have a hard time caring. Hello, Darren. How are you? Discovered a magma pool. That is that really a magma? Oh, wow, it is actually a magma pool. Damn, dude. There's lava in them hills. Sure, but it doesn't materially benefit the damage of the sword. And I need it to materially benefit the damage of the sword. Or I have a really hard time caring. So basically, any amount of gold is too much gold if you don't have other resources. That isn't to me, that are immediately more useful than the gold. Also trying to get this sealed because I can't remember if there's any Forgotten Beasts in this layer or not. Do I have any rock grates, actually? No. Let's just make 3 of those. 3, and we'll make them out of, I don't know. Let's make them out of dolomite so that they're lava-proof for future-proofing reasons. Stormwolf, hello. Turns out I only actually need 2 of them, but whatever. Oh, certainly, Urman, but I maintain it's not the best material in the game. I'd rather have silver than gold any day, because at the very least, because not only is silver valuable and improves the mood of the dwarves, it's also very good as a weapon. So for me, silver is a better material, period. No questions asked. Because of its ability to be made into a weapon.
Alhassa 123 cheered. X 100. Hey guys.
Thanks for the $1. Appreciate you, friend. I prefer Warhammers. I don't even know if silver Warhammers are better than maces, but it's one of those old habits that I've been taught and told by as long as I've played this game that maces are worse than Warhammers. I don't even know how true it actually is. Okay, is there anybody actually down in here? Shoutouts to an anonymous gifter for gifting a subscription to Mofaza. Mofaza, no problem. Hangman, thanks for posting beers. Now I don't need to tell you, but I do need to tell everybody else. Hey, chat, somebody cheered bits, and also somebody else gifted a sub, so we got to get some beers in that chat. There you go. And YouTube, you guys can just click the party button. I'm wondering if this is going to fill up. I don't actually know if it connects to the edge of the map. It might not. Very certainly might not. So instead, we'll just do this. Because I can get this sorted right here. Then not worry about it so much. W Tiger, thank you very much for the 14th month. Welcome back, dude. Also, hey, Celesty, thanks for the lurks. Just waiting for a dwarf to come here and operate this pump. Here comes Indiridius. Just need a couple more beers there, chat. Gotta make sure that the chat is good and intoxicated. I'm sure this will work. Wow, that's draining nice and quick. And there we go. It's now sealed off, so while I did screw up, it's fixed. Now let's see if I can place those floor grates. Nope. Okay, so in that case, I will just simply place flooring there. Yeah, which means I should be able to pump out of here now. So, got an opening right there. Opening there. Opening there. Okay. Let's clear diamonds. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that because I don't really want clear diamonds catching fire right there. So instead, we'll just do this piece right here. Don't forget to save the game. It's fine. I know what crashed it, and that's not going to happen again. Now I have water intake if needed. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on it, so unpressurizing that might actually be a bit of an issue, but what I could use it for is I could use it to, basically I could start channeling down around here, around the edges of this thing, and turn that all into obsidian. But, you know, welcome back, Suited. Emergency clown flush? Probably not. Devil Dawn chucked out a gift to Wiz the God. Now it's a hype train. Okay, so now that that's done, so I was looking at the chat, not the game. I can do that. And also, I'm going to do a thing. I'm going to make this a door right here. And I'm probably also going to put a block to block it off, probably just with a door.
The Suited Giraffe cheered.
Thanks for the dollar.
100.
Now, I wonder... That would be... If I were to do, like, right there.
FYDATECH cheered.
Oh, boy.
500.
Fight up! Thank you very much. Means a lot, seriously. That 500 bits. And Gazoom, thanks for the $3.
This is Sparta!
Gazoom 44 cheered. X 300.
Now's the game
Chris
is saving.
Bongo.
That is something that a lot of players do, just because it was just mentioned in the YouTube chat, that a lot of people prioritize very heavily that I will never fully understand, which is the fascination and prioritization of obsidian farming. I think obsidian's ugly. I think it's hard to look at. I don't really see the material benefit in making obsidian. It's like, if you want obsidian, just settle on a volcano and it's everywhere. It's way less work. You know, requires less power and less pumps. It's kind of neat. Maybe if you're like dropping things on things and using it as like a way of like making a crushing trap, that could be fun. But I guess I don't understand why people want that so much. But you know, it is what it is. I certainly almost never bother putting the time in to do stuff like that. Has higher value than other rocks. If it like I guess
Just in time to join that hype train.
my statement stands. Deep Space, thanks for the 23rd month. Holy shit, it almost been 2 years. Goddamn. It's been a long time. Okay, let's hope that... Okay, no, we did make it all out of lava-safe materials. That's good. This might actually just turn into obsidian. So let's hope it evaporates. There we go. All right, sweet. So the layer below this. Whoa. How many is that? Okay, Anonymous, thanks for gifting out a 10-pack of gift subs. Shoutouts to Anonymous. Whomever Anonymous may be. All hail our Anonymous Overlord. And we thank them for their service. Thank you so much, dude. Chat, can I get a big round of beers for that? Making today going from being kind of low-key to being kind of awesome. So thank you. And that's a big beer, Gazoom. That's like a 100-ounce beer. No. I'm not making one. It's very rarely something I prioritize. Lumica. Very rarely something that I prioritize. What the hell is that? But no, this is literally just me slowly digging down to hell. Okay, so that's probably as deep as this is getting. I keep seeing this anonymous guy all around the internet. Must be rich. Must be. Yeah, definitely. It's just a real shame I don't see my best friend on Twitch anymore. You know, their name was Moobot, and they used to watch all the same streams as me. It's a real shame that they stopped. Miss them every day. Probably got very rich. No, that was the infamous hacker known as 4chan. Come on. The infamous hacker known as 4chan got rich from all that hacking. You know, I want to drop a bunch of lava or a bunch of boulders into this. You got quite the fortune. Oh no. I felt that pun. I can't even remember where that quote came from, the infamous hacker known as 4chan. I don't actually remember where that came from. Yeah, I remember that bit. I just don't remember why the news anchor said it. Like, I can't remember what was happening at the time. It was either Oprah or Fox News. I mean, to be fair, both of those would make sense. This is just a silly little side project. Nothing super serious or anything. I mean, okay, so do you blame Oprah for saying that, or do you blame the person who was doing script writing for Oprah at the time? Because I would blame the person who was doing script writing for Oprah at the time. Because I'm pretty sure that is who's actually to blame for stuff like that. Chat room, thanks for the $11 and the 14 subscriptions. Appreciate you guys greatly. That'll be my fun little side project. While I waited for this to drain out a little bit. So this up here, can do that. And this lower area right here, we're gonna dig stairs down. It was when Anonymous Hacker Group became famous and started going viral on the news. Totally, but I'm just trying to remember what the events surrounding that was. I'm sure I could just go look it up on Know Your Meme. I guarantee you it's on Know Your Meme. 1000% it's on Know Your Meme. But I'm just trying to remember what was exactly happening at the time and why they went viral, because that's the part that I can't remember. Because turns out I know a lot about dumb internet nonsense, but that's apparently something I've forgotten. This is slightly sketchy. Okay. Okay, so that is a hole right there. So I could put another pump right here and pump out this one. Was that what it was? Right. Man, I was hoping it would have been something fun. Meanwhile, YouTube chat, wasn't it the fappening? Yep. I think you're probably right there. Man, I'm glad the internet isn't the way the internet used to be in a lot of ways. Just yep. Okay. Well, I can't do this here. If I do this here, then we have to release whatever's in there. But I could just release whatever's in there, and if it's bad, just like drop a rock on it. So I think we'll just do that. I'll smooth and fortify right here. And if it's something bad, I'll simply lock it up. You kind of miss it. I miss parts of it. I miss the... I'll tell you, there's one bit that I do miss. I miss the actual feeling of anonymity. I do kind of miss that from like the stupidly immature era of the internet. Like I do kind of miss that. Star Ruby cluster. They were phishing attacks? Of course they were. How's everyone? Doing okay? Yourself? People was different? I don't know. I think we're better as humans these days. Oh. Deep within this strange place, we've uncovered what must be a treasure of the gods and also Oz, the fighter swordsman. So, we've also found an echo of divine forgotten, forgotten divine retribution. Jagged pale metal sword, square pale metal shield, thin pale metal gauntlet. Well, I can tell you one thing. What is it? It's a small humanoid composed of ash. It has 3 long curly tails and it cannot abide anything that lives. It was created by the dwarven goddess Oz and is part with death and murder. Yeah, for me, I'm with you there. I miss the idea of the old internet. They only made a big deal because it was celebrities, and when people have their privacy and people have their privacy invaded at all times. Yeah, no, absolutely. But you know, you can get the feeling of the old internet back with a bright metal scimitar. Wow. Okay. All right, so this is actually a safe area because it's blocked off by this tree. So I'm going to drop a rock on this thing right here. I mean, he's right there, which means all I need to do is dig. Actually, I could do it from up here. No, I have to do it from here. So I'm going to... Are the key? Exotic swords are the key. No, not really. That is a god metal sword, essentially meaning that it's something that can only be obtained through this. Don't miss the old internet. You miss your childhood? I don't miss my childhood, like at all. No, what I miss are elements of old internet. I don't actually miss the old internet. The old internet was very much a cruddy place in a lot of ways. We digging? Nah. We delving. Hello, Cooler. How are you? Well, no, they have not, Arnie. Because that's on the list of many things that will get finished as adventure mode gets finished. So let's actually not put this here and instead put this here. And I need stairs going up to here. And there we go. How is your name supposed to be pronounced? Because if you try and correct me, I'll do my damnedest to figure it out. Although I get a lot of misreadings of my name too. I mean, Sea Stone Burner is very easy to say, but it's more just asking. The last thing you want to do is derail the stream. It's okay, this is a stream that, like, exists to be derailed, but it's all good, though. Alright, so this needs to be hooked up, and it needs a lever, like right here or something, which is going to be hooked up to that as well. And now it gets constructed, I think. Nope, it's still waiting. It's waiting for somebody to bring a block. Once this is built, it's going to be hooked up to a lever. This is then going to support this up here. And then... Okay, there you go. I think you're building it. Yep, there you go. So now we just need that lever, and then we just need to finish removing this from everything that supports it and loves it in its life. And then when we pull the lever, it'll just simply drop this pillar and crush the creature. So it'll go directly through this floor and go splat onto it. Which turns out pretty effective and efficient. And then here comes Dwarf over here to construct a building. One of my favorite pieces of, like, input from chat that I've gotten on this fort is, you're low on drinks. It's like, have you looked at my population? You know, I'll be honest with you. I don't know why the Dwarf Fortress community calls it clowns, because I've never cared enough to figure it out. Like, genuinely, I don't actually know why they're called clowns. They've just kind of always been. And it's never been, like, a little fun fact that I took the time to go look up. You need 100 drinks per dwarf. Sounds like you need to lag your game bed, but... Okay, well, I can go up here and finish cutting all this out. I always thought it was a clown car because, like, in video game terms, if an infinite spew of things come out of a room, that's referred to as a clown car. So that was my assumption always. Yeah, exactly. That was always my presumption. Yeah, YouTube just reiterated that. Called them clowns because it was supposed to be late game and you were supposed to be obscured to what we were meant to newcomers. You know, the more and more people I've talked to about obscuring what it means to newcomers is the thing that I hear more and more are people who stopped playing Dwarf Fortress back in the day because of that happening and them not knowing what would happen and then them losing the whole fort and being mad and rage quitting. So I'm like kind of the anti Dwarf Fortress spoiler person because I've heard that in my comments section enough times now that where people are just like, yeah, I quit playing Dwarf Fortress because the first time that happened, it was so awful. I'm like, yeah, I could see that. All right, anyway, let's crush this thing. So Dill's gonna come and pull the lever. Dwarf. And then boop, 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 boop. Splat. Dust flies everywhere. Crowd goes wild. And that critter's killed. And I can rebuild this wall. So now we need to figure out what we do with this thing. Because I've got a legendary scimitar. I think we give it to Salva. I am your father effect of trying to be silly to hide the spoiler. That is all enough to drink. Well, I mean, people used to ask every now and again, there's like, what is what happens when you dig too deep? It's like, well, okay, so you've seen Lord of the Rings or read Lord of the Rings, right? And they always go, yeah. And I'm like, that. They go, Like, it summons a Balrog, it's like, well, hundreds of them. Melt le metal object. And so now, the dwarf melting the metal objects is going to go melt those god metals. And Vakrak appears to be getting the honors. To me, it's a really good way to explain it, Piggy, because it doesn't actually spoil anything. It just it just separates people from the mystery of it while answering the question. We got I think it's a flowing metal sword. Which I'm going to let Salva equip. And I can't actually see it down there. It's getting moved, maybe? Ah, well, we need it in a stockpile, probably. So if I do this and say, all, let it sit there for a second, delete the stockpile, jump into here, go to details, delete this, new weapon, specific weapon. Well, we'll wait for them to equip it first. Well, actually, no, I could do this probably. You. That can be your image, your icon right there. Now that I've done that, I can probably equip it to you, or tell you to equip it. Nope. Well, we'll let them figure it out. Sure, they'll get there. Dr. Adam, thanks for the 11th month. Welcome back. Comes from the early versions of 3D versions, since it wasn't as easy implementing an entire fortress, getting doomed by breaching the adamantium, so by going in the only direction you can go. Tarn implemented chunks of adamantium spawning close to the bottom of the map in mountain regions, and this was before the current layer system, and in some of these chunks there would be surprise rooms full of demons. Oh! Sometimes 100 of them. Yeah, I mean, I played in those eras, like, but I never got that far. Okay, so now that we're doing that, I can then do this. And basically, right there, I need lava to get pumped to right here. Which shouldn't be too hard to do. These dwarves are all digging. Where are they digging? Oh, well, you're digging here. Side project time, I guess. Poorly trained dogs are barking like crazy, because poorly dogs are poorly trained. Side project is, I'm trying to expose this cavern layer to the sun. You know, it needs a tan. It's the point of the hidden fun stuff when it was first coined. I mean, you remember a lot of the old days stuff a lot better than I do, Cooler. That's for sure. If a pillar falls from a height, can it deviate? I don't know what you mean. What do you mean if a pillar falls from a height, can it deviate? Stuff falls in a completely straight line, yeah. And it's instantaneous. Cave-ins are not exactly, how should I put this? The most technically advanced part of Dwarf Fortress. Does snow fall to lava and does that cause any effects? I doubt it. Weather doesn't really have that much of an effect on things, aside from stuff filling. I don't know why they didn't do that one, but it's probably because they've all gone to go dig elsewhere. I keep on forgetting to, like, set up, well, another round of these, but I keep forgetting to yeah, no, I'm just spacing. It's been a long day. Cave-ins are omnipotent. Sure, yeah. I would say that cave-ins are not really designed to work the way they do. It's probably the best way to put it. Yeah, I can't assign it directly by name when it doesn't exist on the list, though. Right, so if the dwarves aren't aware of it existing, I can't assign it. So if it doesn't show up, then I can't assign it. Which currently, it doesn't. Oh. Could probably unlock this. Something's burning. Gross. You're gonna be lurking for a little while. You need to hear stuff. Might be back. If not, have a great race of stream. We appreciate you. Well, thank you for hanging out, Suited. The short that you edited that I uploaded this morning is doing quite well. Today's gonna be kind of a short stream because I've got a strata meeting tonight. So. Huh. I had no idea. So, Sword Death in YouTube chat is talking about, I don't think it's mentioned in the wiki, but stone pillars falling down layers have a bug where they change stone type to the type of the current layer that they're dropped onto. I dropped a conglomerate aquifer down to the caverns and it turned into granite. Huh. That is fascinating. It's like, have you ever just dropped stone so hard it just changes it the type of stone that it is? There's a joke in there somewhere, but like, wow. Huh. That's a feature, not a bug. I mean, I agree that's a feature, but... That's kind of wild. I'm also definitely releasing this water down into here to just deal with a bunch of this crap. Let's just do that. Don't want dwarves to get torched. Turned into a whoopee cushion. Thanks for sharing. Probably works in real life too, though you just haven't dropped stone hard enough. I mean, we just need to throw something at a thing really, 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 really hard. I'm sure there's an experiment channel on YouTube that's trying to do that right now. Can we replicate Dwarf Fortress bugs in real life, thus proving that Earth was programmed by Tarn atoms? Could you imagine, though? Because I can't. And then we'll just pump the remainder of the water out, because it is going to bubble over a little bit, probably. Can turn coal into diamonds. That's what skymans are. Sky diamonds. I don't know if you've ever heard of skymans, but sky diamonds are the thing Big Diamond doesn't want you to know about. That's that they can just artificially make diamonds. I don't know. Does it really change anything, Wiz? That's what I always ask people who try to talk to me about simulation theories. It's just like, okay, well, does it change your life positively or negatively? It's like, no, I just know so much now, man. I'm like, but like, does it have a positive impact on your life, you knowing this, or does it have a negative impact? Because if it's a positive one, that's fantastic. If it's a negative one, then that sucks. And if it doesn't matter, then who cares? Why do I have to get the gems out first? The ones that won't melt in the lava will just become obsidian, then I'll get them back when I mine them out of the lava. And the other ones will melt if they don't become obsidian quick enough, and that's fine. I don't need to get those gems out. There's no rush on the gems. Simulate, I always say it's a creationist theory for douchebags, but, you know. It's like, are you lost and have no meaning in life? Well, do you feel that life might not matter? Well, here, congratulations, it doesn't! Anyways. Just don't want to lose gems that are shiny. Are you sure you're not a magpie? Let's hope this dwarf doesn't drown. There we go. Psst. See? Look at this. It's wondrous. Wonderful apis. Wonderful. Speaking of wonderful, let's get this pumping. It's finished putting a new PSU in your partner's pooter. Got it. I know that you mean computer, but that doesn't read the way I think you mean it to. Must cut pretty. Yes. Yeah, no, all the gems are still down there. It's fine. So we'll just pump that out as this fills, and it'll work for a bit. It'll be fine. So there's more water back there, but that's fine. And Indiridius, the miner, has withdrawn from society. And has claimed a stoneworker's shop. My mind out of the gutter? Mm-hmm. Something oh shit, fuck, what did I do? Fuck. Something evil is emerging from the newly exposed pocket. Shit, fuck, what is it? It's a specter of salt. It's a very large quadruped composed of salt. It has wings and it undulates rhythmically. Shit. Cybrek the Founder's down here. Raging Cave is down here. Dolph is down here. Let's move forward a few turns at a time. Stop pumping. Well, it backed up. Water hit it. Well, we're never getting another migrant, Potato Godzilla, so every dwarf is very important. So our dinosaur friend is now no longer with us. Can I get a round of F's, chat? I have a feeling Raging Cave is also not going to make it through, while Indiridius' lover is making an artifact. Raging Cave is pale and bleeding and in pain.
Bring out your dead!
Pull the levers, dwarf. Pull, no. What's that? The founder. What are you trying to get? Oh, I see what you're going for. Turn the fuck around, dwarf. Turn around, dwarf. The true fear is, has the door been pulled? Not yet. Grunty is coming to pull the lever. Grunty's not going to get to the lever in time. I think the fort's done. Heartbroken. $18 left. Well, they've pretty much finished building that, so... I'm going to let it out onto the surface. It can have the surface. You can't make some soldiers. Can you see the population of dwarves that I have? Can you see that? That is my entire population, and I will never get another dwarf. I do have soldiers. I have 5 very well-trained soldiers. One of them just died. So now I guess I have 4. But it's not worth risking them. Selva has assumed the position of the expedition leader of the fetid cradle. So, hope for babies. This fortress isn't going to last that much longer. I do not have the patience to play a fort that long. We have 3 children. This is not... I would rather uninstall the game and not stream Dwarf Fortress anymore than make this into a generation fort. If you want to do that, you're more than welcome to. I'll just go play a different fort rather than do that, because that's not what I find fun in Dwarf Fortress. Was that the therapist couple that was in the last fort? I'm still playing the same fort, dude. That was not long ago. It was literally last week. And yes, this is still the same fort. The real question is, what the heck my miner's up to? Why? Okay, you're gonna go dig. Oh yeah, no, I'm fucking distraught, Cell Stars. Which means this dwarf is now a single dwarf. Fair enough, Cell Stars. Well, that's far away and in a place I can't see, so... Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig up to the surface and we're going to let this thing out. Also going to lock this out of fear/concern for a lot of things. Yeah, because I built in redundancies, right? Well, that's mildly terrifying. Okay, so this is now a way up to the surface. So I'm going to place these two doors. You think I've... Really? What gives you that idea? I think that's crazy. The notion that you would even suggest that's just absolutely out of this world, man. Meanwhile, Indiridius here, what do you need? You have square cut, red spinels, Greg Chalistonies, 2 siltstone. Cut gems, rough gems, skeletons, stacked cloth, leather. Ah, you need leather and skeleton. Lots of skeleton. Okay. Well, I will slaughter. Just set up a few things to be slaughtered. Okay, they are digging out these down here. Whose name is Dweller? Whomst are we talking about? Perplexed Maze. You know, I feel that way about this fort sometimes. The real question is why these dwarfs take so long? You know, I may actually have to make these kids do chores. Because I've never made these kids do chores, but... I'm actually going to do that because I need some help to get stuff done now. Three of those are kids. Yep. Well, I mean, I don't need to give them a break. In fact, quite the opposite, but do need to get rid of some of these workshops, though. Gonna let Signal and them do work again. And because Selva is now the expedition leader, gonna also link this. They get this office now. And Vakruk still needs a chest, which I still haven't given them. That's something that I was forgetting to do for a while. 31 dwarves was the peak. If you're wondering why, it's because it's literally impossible to get migrants or trade on this map. If you walk onto the surface, you almost immediately become a zombie. It's not a very friendly fort. In fact, I would say this fort is the opposite of friendly. Oh, hey. Well, the giant noodle has decided to move all of a sudden, which is interesting. Okay, well, we're just waiting on the final door. I'm going to lock this door, and then I'm going to wall off this side right here, and then we're going to let this guy out. Dilfo's been missing for a week. Raging Cave has been missing. Wow, they don't even know. That might actually be the saddest thing to happen out of all of this. 2 seconds, chat. I gotta go take a piss.
Cheese for everyone! Sandwich! Bring out your dead!
Now I can just do this. Unlock this. And unlock this. And unlock this. Unlock that. So now the question is, will it become a zombie? And also, how much will it kill? Oh shit, it can actually fly too. So what do you think it's going for, chat? Oh, it's okay. No, it's not a zombie yet. It'll say that it's, Abominable Haze. Or a Abominable Smoke zombie if it is a zombie. But it's dead now. The Titan got him. He pushed it. And it killed it. Indiridius has begun a mysterious construction. No, trust me, there's already scarier things on the surface than that. So, that is the least of our worries. All right, so... I'm going to open this up, and we're going to go down to here. And I'm going to make tombs for those 3 dwarves. kind of a tragic end to the tale of the founder and their partner, but I'm sure I can make something good out of it. I mean, there's not one of them. There was 6 of them when we first embarked here, Zonalar. There's less of them now, but there was 6. Salt's kind of weak. Yeah, but it was giant. That's the problem. Is it was giant. Very large creatures are hard to kill. And what bars do I have? Let's just make rock coffins. Dumb ways to die. What, getting pushed by a Titan? I just love the fact that releasing it, chat's just like, oh no, you've released a terror upon the surface, and then it's just like, dead. Just instantly. Just instantly. Okay, so I don't know what most of these jobs that these dwarves are doing are, but I'm going to forbid basically everything. You keep doing that. So I don't have enough hands anymore. All right. Works secretly. There you go. It's got everything he needs to get, which is good. Pull that. Lock that. No, you cannot. Chemicals do not have that kind of effect in Dwarf Fort. In the, can you cover stuff with salt to make it melt kind of question. Like, that kind of interactions just don't really exist in this game. I see. So they're making them somewhere. It's going to be here. So I've got to open this. Indiridius has created a siltstone millstone and offers it to the fetid cradle. And it's called Razor Tist. Razor Tist. This is a siltstone millstone. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is decorated with pigtail and encircled with bands of cave crocodile. It is decorated with pigtail and encircled with bands of cave crocodile bone and yak leather. This object is adorned with hanging rings of spinel and menaces with spikes of siltstone and grey chalistone and yak bone. On the item is an image of dwarves in siltstone. The dwarves are traveling. The artwork relates to the procession held by the Crypt of Beaches in Trustpotes as part of the Festival of Doors in the late autumn of 300, during the 234th procession of the Festival of Doors. On the item is an image of Moma's Lancer scribes, the dwarf in Yakbone. So Salva, the expedition leader. How are you feeling? Didn't feel anything after seeing Cybrek, the founder's dead body. Didn't feel anything after somebody's death. But has put on some truly splendid items already. Also has acquired the items from the previous founder. It's got to be kind of terrifying, you know? But the good news is we still have an expedition leader, even if the old one is no longer with us. Okay, so here... Okay, I don't even have coffins to place just yet. God damn it. Uh-oh. They finally figured out that they can fly. Oh, shit. Alright. Well, actually, you know what? Is there somebody out here? I should just lock this fucking door. What if I just lock this door? Yeah, let's just leave that door locked. So I don't think it can get in anywhere here. Maybe people will tell this story all the time instead of it was appointed captain. Maybe. I mean, that would be neat. It truly can be a marvelous thing, let me tell you. So, this tomb right here will be for this dwarf. And finally, this tomb right here will be for crap who died. Who was the other one that died? I'm sure I can just go look it up in a few seconds. It's you and Raging Cave was the other one who died. Can't believe I forgot about Raging Cave, man. And this here needs to start pumping again. It's the coolest memory? I don't know how I would define coolest in this instance. Because, like... Yeah, I don't know. Like, they're so generic. I don't know how to answer that question. Nor do I know how I would even define coolest in this. Sorry, but that's like one of the most broad questions you could have asked about this video game. I wish I remembered. I'll put it that way. What memory do I remember? So the individual memories don't matter, right? What matters is the personality that the combination of memories builds. I mean, for me, probably the most memorable thing is a dwarf feels satisfied remembering being near a door or just something really stupid like that. But what's interesting is, like, I once had a dwarf that was satisfied after getting into an argument, and I saw that their spouse was angry after getting into an argument and was like, did you two just argue? And then it was like affection when interacting with spouse. Probably that. But, like, they're very generic, but on their own, they're not really that cool. It's when they're all connected together in the list that they're interesting. You know what I mean? Like, the memories are not individual pieces. It's like all of them together is what makes the dwarf. But the individual thoughts are whatever. Yeah, no, that's not a thing that a dwarf remembers, though, Bastet. That's a thing that happened that I did. Was a dragon blowing up a bunch of alcohol barrels. Was that memorable? Certainly, but that's not a thing a dwarf would remember. Because all the dwarves who saw that died. No one's going to remember that. So how about this, Zonalar? Since you asked me a very general thing, what's the most interesting memory you've seen a dwarf remember? I mean, dwarves will just appreciate fine craftsmanship. Turns out it's not hard to impress a dwarf. They're pretty simple creatures. Just like a chair in a room will impress them. Well, then how do you expect me to answer that question? Being terrorized by hamsters? Just hates hamsters? I will never understand why a dwarf would hate a hamster. Like, hamsters are like dicks. I get it. They're mean little creatures, but I suppose I will never fully understand the hatred of hamsters by dwarves. Oh, I see. I know why this isn't working. Because I haven't added them back in the burrow yet. That makes sense. I'm not the only 10,000-hour Dwarf Fortress guy. There's other people that have this amount of time, if not more than me. There we go. Finally found them dead. Three times the zombie invaders because you were too close to a tower? Wait, like you reclaimed it and then it fell again, and then you reclaimed it and then it fell again kind of deal? Yes, I got bit by a hamster when I was a small child during that era when everybody had a pet hamster. Although the hamster was never as bad as hedgehogs. Hedgehogs were worse. Those were meaner little fuckers than the hamster. Because I had some childhood friends growing up who had hamsters and guinea pigs and hedgehogs. And the hedgehogs were the meanest little motherfuckers on Earth. The hamsters were not so bad. They weren't great, but they weren't so bad. Okay, so this is getting hauled. They haven't found you yet. Because the thing about hedgehogs is they bond to one person and then like never fully trust or be nice to anybody else after that. So they truly are little monsters. You're petting it and it got grumpy. I mean, you could say that about a lot of pets, actually. Like, genuinely sounds like a cat, too. Like, sometimes you're just petting a cat and then it gets grumpy and then suddenly you don't have an arm anymore and you're like, where'd my arm go? Weird. Anyway, and then you just go back to your day. Man, you know, it's funny. I'm very rarely, like, extremely tempted to save Scum. I'm so tempted to save Scum those 2 deaths, but not gonna do it. We will persevere. We will press on. We will live with these mistakes. It's gonna suck, but we will. Just because it is going to be really difficult to do this. Weird, my arm changed into a cat. Yeah, exactly. Oh no, they decayed. God damn it. You don't ever want dwarves to have to endure the decay of a friend, and all of these dwarves had friends. Oh, I didn't add this area back into the burrow. Duh. It's like, why aren't they doing the thing I told them to do? Well, they literally can't, so that would be why. Trust me, these dwarves will never thrive, but I'm glad you think that that's possible. I will say that there hasn't really been a point ever in this fortress's history where the dwarves have, air quotes, thrived. Fingers tend to bleed a lot. They've got a lot of veins in them, so yeah. There we go. The dwarves have been put to rest. What a shame. You know, honestly, at the very least, the founder of the fortress died to a demon. It is kind of fitting. Like, if you're gonna die to anything in this fort, might as well be, like, something from the underworld, you know? Like, there's no good way to die, but if you're gonna pick one for a fort like this, it's gotta be something epic. And honestly, that's about as epic as you can get. So there's something right there. So that should be fine. There's also something right there. I'm gonna go up to there and do this. Go up to here and do that. And that. So I can do quite a bit of digging now. Chat, you guys want to give Zonalar the TLDR goal for this fort? So I don't have to? Or I can, if chat doesn't want to. Can't dig through that. There's lava on the other side. Let's go here instead. Pretty much. Because, like, I'm never going to get more migrants. Right? So, for me, the win condition that I have for myself for this fort is if I can make hell go to the surface, I win. And that's pretty much it. Massive elevator. Sure. You know what? I should just do this. Although, yeah, that'll be fine. Well, putting it this way, terminal wetness, hell's probably safer. That's me being as honest as I can about this fort. It's probably safer in hell versus the surface. Like, quite literally, nothing can live on the surface. But, assuming you don't get your face ripped off by a giant, you know, archdemon or something or another, hell's okay. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. So I'm going to release as much of hell as possible onto the surface. For the lulz. That's what I'm trying to do. All the dwarves remember the Festival of Doors. Oh, no, absolutely. The 300-somethingth Festival of Doors. Oh, yeah. If they have a fleshy body, yes, they can be made into the zombies as well. I may or may not be trying to, like, do a housing swap with the demons. We'll see. Unleashing the surface demons, the surface to the unsuspecting hell denizens. Pretty much was, yeah. It depends on what you like more aesthetically, Soyan Gamer. Sometimes I swap between both. It just depends on the day. Okay, let's move. That's pretty much done for most. So we clear out the last of this. I also don't really know what to stream tomorrow. I could just play more of this. Might just try and finish this fort, to be honest, but... because we're not too far from the end. We're getting pretty close to the end of this one. Okay, so that's connected. But what I'm going to try and do, and what I haven't actually mentioned to you guys at all, is you might notice down in the area where I was digging into hell, I left a space, an open space. And that open space is quite literally going to be... how do I word this? That open space is going to have a floor built on that. And underneath it, I'm going to put a... what's it called? A support, similar to what I'm doing with this. And I'm going to actually use that to breach hell. We're not going to dig into hell to breach hell. I'm going to use the support to breach hell. And the reason I'm going to do it that way is it's going to be significantly safer to do it that way. If I do it that way, then I can lock the door and then breach hell with the way to the surface unlocked. Nobody claimed a workshop. What? It's been since December since you played Dwarf Fortress, but watching always gets you into a strange mood. Oh, I see. Which workshop did you claim? Probably keyboard. Is what I would assume they claimed. That'd be the most logical one. Okay, so then the last chunk that I do after this is done is right here. So this is held up by the surface. Okay, so you go do that. You guys want to drop a little lava piston? Because that's what we're about to do. We're about to drop a wheel lava piston. This is going to go down into the first cavern layer, and I'm doing it for fun. Because I think that this would be just, you know, an epic, air quotes, test run. And also give me an alternate way of ensuring that demons make it to the surface. Just a few more dwarfs. There they go. One's going to go over and do that. And then that's it. So there's nothing supporting it now. It's completely separated. So now we lock this door and pull the lever. And now we just simply wait for a dwarf to come pull the lever. Here they come, I'm assuming. It's Elfie Bean who gets to pull the lever. Chat room, can I get a big round of lava? For this room's about to be filled with it. Look at that. Beautiful lava gusher. And now, the beginnings of a way to the lava sea are constructed. I mean, we can do this again very easily by doing this. Maybe not very easily, but easily enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a wall that goes to right there. Oh, actually, sorry. I'm going to unlock this door, and then I'm going to build a wall that goes right here. We're going to set that up again, except this time, we're going to channel up around the edge. All the way around the edge. So that's going to be terrifying. So in order to do that, we're going to need to lock this in really carefully. But it'll give the demons access to this cavern layer, which will be its own kind of fun. So now the question is, can we do this without everybody dying? Why would dwarves have a fear of heights? There's no logical reason for them to have a fear of heights. Death awaits? Oh, damn right. I would say dwarves are permitted to have a very rational fear of heights. So I'm going to go around the edge of this. We're going to do this. Just be like, hey, dwarves, under no circumstances are you going to stand there where you're digging. Most of these dwarves are taking weaponsmithing demonstrations. You're going to construct that. You're going to get linked to this. But first, they're going to go pull the lever, which I'm assuming Wizard Bold Man's going to do. Be sure to put lots of airlocks in the passageways. I mean, we can put in an extra one or two. Okay, so who's coming to link the lever then? It's Iral, the rookie. At least the dwarves are generally happy. You love weaponsmithing demonstrations? It's a very dwarfy activity. Fun for the whole family. Dwarves of all ages can participate in such a grand activity. What are you constructing? Oh, probably a door. Okay, so that's now connected. You took all the tasks off him so he can fix himself, but he just socializes and complains he needs ale and food. Well, probably because he needs alcohol and food. Do you have a tavern keeper who can serve him alcohol? People who are just temporary citizens are not allowed to serve themselves alcohol if all of your mugs are in areas that they're not allowed. So I'd make a tavern keeper to serve him alcohol because he probably needs food and alcohol. I would just make sure that he can acquire alcohol. Yeah, the funny thing about this fort is, yeah, it's extremely chill, but also very, very high stakes whenever anything not chill happens, you know? All right, well, it's time to begin. So I guess that answers that question. Yeah, I know, right? Do you need more keepers? You just need one. But no, they can't talk themselves to death, but they can get too depressed and then die. Okay, I'm not seeing any zombies in the general vicinity, so... Just a fluffy wambler. Here they come. Oh, shit. Shinobi's fighting. All right, well, this was a mistake. Right now I'm wondering, why did I even do this? Come on into radius. Ooh, 16 dwarves. Yeah. So that would be Salva, Shinobi, and probably... Oh. Well, Salva the smoke zombie.
Bring out your dead!
Arkansol has assumed the position of expedition leader of the Fated Cradle. That I should save. No. What even happened? I assume one of them got rained on. Why bother saves coming? If chat doesn't explain that to you, and if you haven't figured it out by now, I can't explain it to you. If you haven't gotten to the point where you understand the high stakes of this fort, then There's no amount of explaining that I can do to explain it to you. Okay? Why bother save scumming? Think about the question for a minute. Why? Well, do we want to have a chance to be able to complete this fort or no? And if the answer is no, then why are you watching? Because genuinely, the thing I want to complete with this fort is killing the fort in the coolest way possible, because that makes for good content. So why bother save scumming? So that this fort doesn't have a anticlimactic dull end? I mean, think about it for a minute, I guess. No, Zonalar. Anyway, that was a fun side project, but we'll do that side project later. We already don't have enough dwarves to reasonably complete the quest. So if we subtract another 6 dwarves from this, it's going to be less interesting and take longer. And I'll say what I said earlier, Zonalar. I will just retire and play a different fort instead, because as much as I enjoy this fort, I did a fort like that for multiple years of real time, human time. And it wasn't even remotely fun for me. And I've explained this a dozen times today, unfortunately, because chat keeps on making me do it. But I would rather just never play the fort again than have to do that again. So, no, they won't grow up eventually. I will retire this fortress. So basically, those are your two options. I can complete my goal, or I can retire the fort. And if save scumming bothers you, then don't watch. That's okay. We'll complete the quest and it'll be fun, or we won't. And if save scumming ruins that for you, then I already let 3 dwarves die today, which is more than I can afford. Woo! So. Simple as that. So instead, we'll just simply zombify all of these creatures instead, and it'll be fine. But yeah, this ain't gonna happen. That's a shame. You want to see me open the gates of hell? I don't think I have time to do it today, but yes. We'll aim for it tomorrow. Then I don't know what I'll do Friday. We'll figure something out for Friday. Or Thursday, rather. May Gorlax bless this run. I had a Gorlak queen once. That was about as blessed by Gorlax as I think I'll ever get. I just want to see the gates of hell zombify themselves. That's all I really want to see. So let's just go down to here. And I'm going to go to right here, and I'm going to build up. And then this is going to get a floor panel built on it. Norland? Maybe. I'm keeping an eye on their patches. Could be Norland. Could make that happen. It's mostly just like I said, I'm watching their patches, and if they make enough balance changes that I like, then yeah, probably. But it depends on their balance changes. Did I have to do a deep embark? Nope. But the game has gotten a lot better already, even since launch, so yeah, I agree. The daily patches have been good. All right, so that's one piece. Okay, so now this is up to here. I need 49. Let's bring these over. Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to just use this to break into hell, because it looks like that's probably where it'll be. Why do I need to make zombies do that? Well, I could just make water do that. But hamster zombies are a funny con. Didn't they do that in Dead Rising? I have this vague memory of just like Dead Rising people standing there talking and just like zombies on hamster wheels. Pretty sure that's a thing that happened in Dead Rising. So Zignal is an astronomer now, apparently. Let's pump this water out. It's getting late where you're at. We'll see you when we see you, dude. It's like 5 o'clock here. But yeah, hopefully that little failed side quest there will make it clear as to why this fort is so dangerous. If nothing else. That's one thing I think it did a pretty good job of, is explaining why this fort is so dangerous. Most of these dwarves are constructing building, which, yep, busy, busy, busy. I did. Caves of Cud remains a very difficult game for me to stream. I don't fully know why. I like Caves of Cud a lot, and I would like to stream more of it, but it's not the biggest priority at this exact minute just because Norland exists. And we're only streaming 3 days this week, so because I need to get caught up on YouTube stuff, I'm just super behind on everything right now. Basically, it's one of those games that people, like, even mechanical spoilers are like a problem for some people, and it's, yeah, I don't know. It shouldn't be as difficult a game to stream for me as it is, but it just is. Caves of Cud's a weird one. It's a game that I can't wait for it to release so that people will actually play it and stop complaining about spoilers. Although, what'll happen is it'll actually release and then people will still complain about spoilers. But, yeah, I don't know. I played Cogmind? Yep. I streamed it before it was on Steam. It didn't happen because I have Dwarf Fortress, Caves of Cud, Path of Acra, the Norland, Songs of Six, and I only stream 4 days a week. So, like, that's the reason it hasn't happened yet. Is every single game I stream, I could play for thousands of hours individually. That's why it hasn't happened yet. Which I think is fair. Like, you know, I like video games as much as everybody else, but like, I only have so much time in a stream. It's a very early access game. And it's a very early access game that's been tested by a very small group of people for a long time, which means it's got a lot of very weird quirks to it as far as Norland goes. But I would like to play some more of it just because it's still very close to the front of my brain right now. You know, like, it's still new and shiny. And it kind of scratches an itch that other games don't really. Okay, so dolomite, steel, steel. Where the heck did that pipe go? Rumble. Come on. Seems poorly designed. I really hate those diamonds. Like, I feel like, one, diamonds used to be exciting and cool when you found them because it was a very rare thing, and two, now they're just everywhere and they catch fire all the time. It's like, god damn it. Can we just not have diamonds down here? I'll say this. If you're even remotely hesitant, don't. It is a very early access game. I'm enjoying it, but it has a lot of faults. That's what I will say. Astounding that I'm still stupid enough to still stream this game? I think breathtaking is the meme you're looking for there, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of promise, but right now it's a lot of promise. So that's all I'll say, is just be cautious with that one. The reason I'm giving it as much of a chance as I have is because I trust its publisher. If it wasn't published by Hooded Horse, I probably wouldn't have touched it. Oh. I'm not smart. I'm really dumb sometimes. Just bring a bunch of blocks down and make these. Because I need to see if there's anything murderous right there. I don't think so, but I need to go one further. Okay, well, that's all done there. Also got a bunch of random lava in places around here, which, you know, it's lava. Okay, so I should be able to dig through here. I don't see anything. Uses the wood chopping tool like a big smart. If that releases some horror, I'm going to be sad. So many random metal things. Holy crap, that's a lot of gems. Let's just get those all dumped like right there. Okay, you know what? Let's actually just go over here. Never mind, let's not do that. I don't know why they're not using the location that's way closer. It's like there's just a dump zone like right here. Why are you not putting them right there? I didn't think they would actually do that. No, I'll just let them throw them somewhere else into a different volcano. I just... you know what? We'll just burn them. No, I saved him. He's fine. Dwarful Dwarf? Yeah, well... How's Vukruk? She's fine. Hey. I know exactly what happened there too, don't worry, but... I guess the question is define advanced tips. Do I teach you how to break the game? No. Do I teach you how to abuse physics bugs? Not really. If you want that, go look up Twisted Logic. That wasn't committing suicide. They were doing exactly what they were told, which is throw the thing into the lava, because apparently they do that diagonally, because they don't put things directly down. So because I was dumb and put the dump stockpile right there, with nowhere for them to put it, they were just throwing it to the side, because they stand in the dump stockpile and put it next to them, which in one of them threw it into the lava. So no, they're not committing suicide. Don't joke about that. It's not funny. It's horrible. And that's not what they do. They don't do that at all, really. They do murder each other sometimes, though. I like how Sword Death is explaining exactly how dump zones work when I'm just tired and not paying full attention to what I'm doing. So thanks for telling me how they work. I know how they work. Thanks. Pass the starter basic stuff, port stockpiles, setting up efficient stockpiles. Yeah, go through my tutorials. I have hundreds of tutorials at this point, covering all kinds of things. Early game to late game stuff. Minecarts, minecart routes, switches. But I don't teach people bugs and glitches, which is usually what people are talking about when they're asking for advanced tips, because I don't find breaking the game to be fun. It's just kind of overpowered for the sake of it. That doesn't really entertain me, so I just don't do it. But yeah, you just need to scroll through my tutorials a little further, that's all. Just goddamn smoke, man. Might just try digging right down here. See where this goes. Not bad, Sword Death. Wait, no, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Time to hit the hay. I don't know why everybody has to hit it. Like, what did the hay do wrong? I mean, I said, hey, what's going on? Titan Slayer. I thought I memorialized you. Did I not? Clearly I did, and then never placed it. Well, that makes sense. Well, holy yeg. Holy yes. Holy easy GG. There you go. Thank you very much for that Prime subscription. Welcome back. It means a lot. Thanks for continuing to support the channel. And keep them subscriptions alive. And help this channel stay funded. One subscription at a time. Now this I can dump buckets of water on. Wait, no, that's a source. I always click the wrong one first. Same with this. Pit pond. Fill pond. There we go. Titan Slayer's been put to rest. Dwarf cancels to go remove construction. I beg your pardon. Okay, well, we gotta channel through that now. It's 1 of 7 lava right there. Just like that, it's out. So now we just need somebody to come do this. This can have that deleted. Not the one in the background, no. Why? At least I didn't recognize it. Was I supposed to? I mean, I guess I was. Hey, chat, we got a couple more beers for that brand new Prime sub. It's a big deal. Brand new subscriptions is brand new subscriptions. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't know that. And the reason I say absolutely I wouldn't know that is because, like, I haven't played Skyrim since 2011. So, yeah, no, absolutely I wouldn't know that. I don't even know what throughout the world. I'm assuming that's a thing that you go to in a quest at some point. Clearly, I played a lot of Skyrim, guys. Like, I'm basically an expert. I definitely loved that game. Mm-hmm. Totally. That's why you put it there? Then why did you... Okay, so if you knew that I wouldn't know that, why did you ask if I knew that? What? Sorry, but... I'm sensing a slight thumbing of nose at me. But why would I know if something was up or not? I don't know. I feel like I'm being insulted. You were just hoping someone would notice and comment on it. Ah, well, no one has commented on it yet, if that's what you're asking. You know what I want to do, chat? I want to do something kind of dumb. You know, this area is kind of cool and all, right? But what if we just dropped this up here just to see what it opened up and then let them all out onto the surface? Zoomzang, thanks for the 22nd month. Welcome back, dude. Now that's a big round of beers. Ooh. No, this is a big risk. What? Oh, I see. Still dumping buckets of water into here. We can stop that. Oh, game's paused. I'm like, why is nothing happening? Like it's blinking. Nope, game's paused. Let's just see what's down there. It's just water. Raw adamantine. Praise the memers. Or the lemurs, one of the two. Okay, well, I'm going to dig through all this. There's a bunch of water right there. I don't trust this. That's interesting. Water going down that way. There's definitely lava on the other side of this. So here is what I'm gonna do. I'm just going to do the thing that I did before. And I'm going to erase all of... Oops. I'm going to go into the thing that I did before, and I'm going to erase all of this from the burrow. Okay. Now done that. Then I'm going to go over to here. I'm going to erase this from the burrow. And then I'm going to cancel this job. Just going to wait for everybody to be out. Seems like they're all out. Then I'm going to lock this door, go up to here, and I'm going to lock this door. Then we're going to go back down, and I'm going to go grab this pillar. And we're going to pull it. Chat room, we're going to see what we release. It's probably going to be something. The tracks are there because it lets me see what's underneath them with the graphics turned on. Deep within this place, we've uncovered what must be a treasure of the gods. We've unleashed an echo of forgotten divine retribution. We checked for heat. What devilry is this? Something evil is emerging from the newly exposed pocket. Well, let's see what we've broken. So we've got a blocky pale metal boot and nothing. So there's Doc Soldier Axeman. Bunch of crud. That thing looks dead. So a bunch of scatters. And it appears that whatever was in there died immediately. I would say it did. Let's just go here. And type in underworld. Nope. All right. All right, all right, all right. I think that might be my method of digging too deep now. Just, you know, repeated Armox hammers. Just got to get through this layer now. I mean, look at this. Got pale metal stuff now. And also now we can dig through all of this, which also means I can go up to here and drain out this. And I don't even know how these two these two blocks got stuck in that wall, but they did. There's a mechanism there. And then down here, there's two really fancy slippers. It's a large glowing metal shoe. Two of them. It's a shame that they're large, but I mean, I'd be lying if I said that wasn't kind of dope. It's a very fancy shoe. It's like the fanciest sneaker. Oh god, why do I always end up just using the wrong one? Having two burrows in a different order than you're used to, very good way to like accidentally click stuff constantly. Okay. You know, I could probably just leave this upper door locked. Okay, so that then leaks out there. Okay, so I'm actually going to go up to the top of this and just deconstruct everything up here. Okay, maybe not quite everything, but most of this stuff up here. We're going to go back up to here, and I'm going to do this again. We're going to do this again so that, you know, it's clearer, cleaner, betterer. Well, there is no fire in hell, so none. Also, hell will infinitely fill with liquids if you try, so I don't actually think you can do that. Extinguish hell with water, anyway. Unless you mean, like, take out the entirety of the magma sea, but that's not really hell. It's kind of a different thing there. So now I can just mine out all of this. Because quite literally, all of this is safe. At least to about here. Not totally sure on that. And that sucks. There's just a whole bunch of musty crap right there. Let's just build a tile on top of that so that it stops being a concern. Oh, I see why they're not going down there. It's because they literally can't get there. Well, that makes sense. I don't know why I'm surprised by that, but it's true. Also, you're stuck up here because I deconstructed your floor. I feel smart. It's a very good way to dig to hell. Yeah, well, I mean, it clears out a lot of stuff. Just repeated constructed Thor's hammers. Although I may actually need to repurpose this area to that. Did you take a nap? Yes, you did. Well, at least you have a way down now. All right. You build this, and then all this gets started. Probably. Here we go. Think you'll use this method next time? It's even easier if you use glass. As if you have glass, then you can basically just use glass to see through it, because it makes the layer below see-through. Oh, shit. Fuck, no. Yes, I'm aware I'm cheating. Hoi. Nobody saw that, right? You didn't see anything. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yes, YouTube chat. That is what this is. I can confirm it is very cursed. In almost every respect. wonder if we're going to get another patch this week. Kind of not expecting one. I do wonder, though. Okay, so that right there, let's just do a pit pond real quick. Dump water into there. I think we also need to give these dwarves a break. Okay. Who's coming to fill that pond? There you are. It was aliens? I mean, ancient alien theorists believe that the... Anything? Not everything, because then I would just type in migrants now a couple dozen times until I actually had enough dwarves to finish. Migrants now, teleport, etc. So not quite anything. Many things are allowed. We'll put it that way. That's another thing that I'm going to do is just dig around the edge of this. Now this I need to know. Is this safe? And where is all those items? There it is. This stuff. So all of this stuff I'm going to claim. And I'm going to melt all of this. And jump back down to over here and say, melt metal object. Because we've got 3 pale metal bars and we're going to get some more stuff. This is like my 8th in this world, and yeah, probably. Unless there's suddenly a reason to generate a new world, which there rarely is. Probably another one in the same region. Attempting this challenge again, but from like a different direction. But yeah, I tend to play the same world for like 6 months at a time. It's pretty rare that I generate new worlds. Although I generated one on Friday last week just for a one-off adventure. But speaking of that, chat, in 30 minutes here, I have a meeting that I have to go to. So I got bad news, guys. This might be it for the Hellfort for today. This is it for the Hellfort for today, chat. So tomorrow, we'll be continuing this nightmare. That's it. Continue the generation of the world. No, it is not possible to continue the generation of the world after generation is stopped. But anyway, I will be continuing the work that I have done on this fort and the nightmares that have come from it. And hopefully we don't need to bury any more of our friends. But before you guys all run away, we got somebody to go raid. We gotta go raid somebody. So, we're gonna go save this. Twitch chat. It's time to say goodnight, YouTube, because YouTube, we're shutting you down now. If you want to come raid with us, you can pop over to the Twitch channel. That being said, if you haven't yet, please go follow my newsletter, which can be found in the description of the YouTube stream. Once a week on a Monday, you will get a little write-up with everything that I did in the previous week, as well as some stuff that I'm working on and just general brain thoughts. If you like reading words on screen, that might be a not bad thing to do. It also has paid alternatives, which allow you to, and on Twitch, you can find it by typing !blog, which allow you to help keep this channel funded, similarly to the way Patreon works, except I get 100% of the profits and don't give Patreon money. And I only need like half a dozen more members to actually be making a higher percentage than Patreon. Because I do have to pay for website hosting, which isn't free. But it's fine. We've already cleared that. So, we're shutting you down now, YouTube. Thanks for spending time here. Thanks for watching the stream. And we'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific on YouTube. And 9 a.m. Pacific here on Twitch. All right, tease, chat. Did you have fun today? Very important question. Could you give the stream a rating out of 10? Would watch again? Worst stream ever?